Hello guys, Gardy in the Gamer, and welcome to my Destiny 2 Shadowkeep review and my Destiny Year 5 review. Today, here are the topics. We're going to be talking about the Destiny 2 Shadowkeep story and Return to the Moon. We're going to talk about the seasonal artifact and did it make it more RPG. We're going to talk about Destiny 2 Battle Pad or Loot Pad and did it pay to win. We're going to be talking about Destiny 2 Shadowkeep endgame activity. We're going to be talking about Destiny 2 Shadowkeep Armor 2.0. We're going to be talking about Destiny 2 Offensive and Micro Transaction. And we're going to be talking about Destiny 2. We're going to be talking about Destiny 2 PvP and PvE, the Kruber, and Destiny 2 New Light. Warning! This review may contain spoiler for the Destiny 2 Shadowkeep review. So if you are a new light player or you are an experienced son of the preview game in the storyline, then there might be a spoiler warning. But if you have played all the Destiny 2 playable campaign since Destiny 1, more importantly, D2 Dark Below, D2 Red War, and D2 Forsaken, then it should be alright. In the video, I'm gonna try not talk about the meta. I'm gonna try not talk about the PvP and Kruber meta. I'm only gonna talk about the Kruber meta, not the gamer or not the meta. I'm gonna try not talk about pinnacle weapon or richer weapon, as they call in the game. As they call in the game. I'm gonna not talk about Destiny 2 Shadowkeep raid or other raid from Destiny or Destiny 2 in the video. So let's get beginning with part 1 of the review. The Destiny 2 Shadowkeep story and Return to the Moon. For the story, you do return to the moon in the depth of the moon mission, and when you arrive in the spoiler warning guide for part 1, when you arrive in the moon, the mission it gives you an introduction to the world, to the story. You get to fight in the moon, the player, you get to use your new finisher move, the other NPC, you get cutscene, you get to meet adding more, you get to use finisher move, the NPC fighting, and you get a cutscene to see adding more. This is kind of a great finale. Like battle scene, when you jump into it, you're treated like you're in a Halo 3 battle scene, rather than a Destiny 2 battle scene. And the battle scene is that you're fighting again over the hammer with NPC, with other guardians. And it is really fun when you play it with other players. When I got it, I was playing it with my free friend. Luke Huan. Go check them out. Kimpi shooter, and they're really good. But the Destiny 2 storyline is not that good. Basically, you're helping others. Spoiler again, you're helping others to find the darkness and eventually defeat the darkness by going into the darkness. And the story only really gets interesting to the third land mission. in the game. So the story get interesting. This is where you're introduced to the moon. You get better. Third time you located the moon map, and the story is that the game really boring because a lot of the NPCs you're just fighting again and fighting again. In the mission, the best thing about the campaign is you get to play with friends, you get to explore them, and you get to use the new finisher move and the new seasonal artifact. You get to use them in the mission for the first time, in the campaign for the first time, and that's the best thing about the Destiny 2 campaign. Now that a lot of people are like, they're away from Bungie, they're gonna do a Halo story, and all I'm gonna say to this is you're gonna be disappointed, but I think it set a scene to what Destiny 3 is. If you haven't been playing to the lead, Destiny 3 is gonna be about the Darkness and Prince Origin, and they're gonna be Light Guardian and Dark Guardian and all that, and all that, and playing through the story, I just believe that even more. But if you're playing through this story and you're thinking, oh, Bungie led Activision, this story is gonna be basically Halo 3, Destiny 2 Forsaken should be called Halo 3 in 2019, and it's not Halo 3, or it's not even a scale comparison. It's like sort of introduction of what Bungie can do with Destiny 3 story, and it's not even that. But and more of the content about the moon, and even the content in the story mission, more of the content you played it and done it before. There's gonna be a spoiler warning, but get ahead. There's this thing called Nightmare, and Nightmare basically the Guardian Nightmare, and basically think what you fought in the past, and think what you fought in the past, and they're gonna be like your Destiny 2. They're gonna be your Guardian Nightmare. So the nightmare from Gore, the nightmare about the Chain Mad, the nightmare about Quarter, and more of the enemy you're just reusing. And the moon, to me it feels like reuse content and reuse assets. The moon really does feel reuse. When you're playing the moon, you don't feel really. So if I had to give Destiny 2 storyline out of 10, I will probably get it a 4. I'd probably get it a 6 out of 10. It probably should get a 4 out of 10. My hardcore story review will play a game like Fallout and Wolfenstein and The Witcher 3. But because I'm a COD fan and I'm an RPG fan, yeah. And like I said, the moon is basically reused asset from Destiny 1, and the moon is probably the Sire moon. It's a bit bigger than Titan. I said that you took the 2 DSC planet. If you took the 2 DSC planet with Warmire and Mars and stuck them together, you will get literally, not spoiling it, but did it decide the moon, and if you took them to planet, you will get the moon. And you can replay the third mission of Destiny 2. You can replay the Destiny 2 Shadow Key, and you can play the third mission of Destiny 2 Forsaken. I don't know if you can play the third mission of Warmine. I think you can, or you can't. So you can't play, but you can play the third mission where I don't know why you want to, but if you want to, you can. So yeah, part 1 is done. Let me on to part 2 of the review. let's talk about seasonal artifact. Now the seasonal artifact you unlock at tier 7 or letter 7 of the Destiny 2 battle pass or loot pass. So the free chat, so you don't need the premium chat to unlock it. You unlock it at the free chat, the seasonal artifact, the eye of the gate, the gate lord eye, or the eye of the gate lord. You unlock it and it go in your character sort of like at a fixed spot. So you got your free weapon, your primary, your special, and your pattern, and then you got your gun, and then you got your seasonal artifact. And did it what it looked like. So at the top it said the artifact with the icon, the seasonal artifact. You can reset it, but did it what it looked like. You get per and the like you imagine then a skill point or skill token or artifact point or artifact. You get D, and D are mods, and you can apply them to finish them to pieces of gear. Right now they're only art and solar art. Right now they're only art and void, no solar armor, but you apply these. And the way to unlock these is you buy. So the one what I really want to unlock. So you look for the one I kind of use hand cannon. So I just unlock it, and then I unlock it, and then I get the mod. And now you can see down here is the ranking to your net tier. And you get some of the really cool mod. And they require a level 10 or level 7 of the seasonal artifact. Now you can reset your artifact, but resetting it can more and more grimmer. But I'm not gonna do that. But you can reset the artifact. Now I think because Destiny had because Destiny is a game, it's a loot shooter, it's a RPG, it's like really the first, it's like really first RPG game what had a PvP mode and what PvP mode player and a PvE mode player versus environment, and a PvP slab PvE mode player versus environment, and player versus player in feature Gambit. So you got player versus player in feature 3v3 Kruber and Gambit invasion, and you got all that to go with, and then you got a Gambit with basically a 4v4 player versus environment, then you go into PvP. You got a really cool artifact. We were shown what artifact will look like, and it will, when we first got it, to me it looked really cool because you had a pro, and you probably, if you do the finisher move, you reset you give your whole fire team a stat of ammo. But the con or the cost would be that it has your super bar, and that seemed fair. But because you have two of them, you got to ban into one for right. You can't add a weapon OP. Like ideally you want anything to OP, but you can't do that. You have to ban in, and Destiny is really about banning because it had then 2 more, and then 2 player, and then 2 mini community and player time. In Destiny, they're 3 player, they're PvP only player, and the people will play the Kruber and Gambit only, and religion. The PvP player will only play Strike, Raid, Nightfall only, and they're a bit of bow with play a bit of bow like me. And because you're then 3 in one big community, you can't just start going bringing a seasonal artifact and bringing really So I think the seasonal artifact will work in Destiny and should work in Destiny, but I think the seasonal artifact, I think they do. I think that time, if they bring the seasonal artifact into Destiny 3, where I think they should, or if they bring some sort of skill tree like this, they should base that seasonal artifact or that skill tree around the whole game economy. And when I say economy, I don't mean loot and possession, but I mean grinding and fighting and encounter, because really, the artifact should be a cool really thing, and it should be a thing that set the world on fire and light the world on fire. But right now, the artifact don't do that, and to me it's just a big shame. And yeah, so I would like the artifact to be good, but right now it's just a big shame, and yeah, it's not good. I know. I want the artifact to be a 10 out of 10 and to be a positive thing for looter shooter and Destiny and PS4 fan. But right now the artifact is sitting at a 7 or maybe 8 out of 10 when it should be sitting at a 10 out of 10 or even 100 out of 10. Even though you can't SHAREfactory had that, it should be sitting at that because it should be awesome. But yeah, you can't add that. It should be sitting like that, should be awesome. So then, let's talk about the seasonal battle pass or seasonal loot pass. Now, it's the LAD tab or the LAD interface. So it's from the director and it too, so you go director, Rod, and here you go. So at the top it says seasonal artifact, and then it's a day and other, so we got 60 days, but when it first came we had 69 days, so now we have 2 months. Then over here is your seasonal run, season you are purchased, and then it gives you a tip, the seasonal icon and a name. And then you can, about the current season, I will look at that, and then you run, and then it go at P. The seasonal artifact, I get where Bungie is going, but I just feel like they can go too pay to win too far, and I've seen some people in the community saying the seasonal artifact, they are lie, they are kid, they are Jordan, they're nowhere gonna near getting to rank 100 or tier 100, and I just seen people from the gaming community like that are like handy saying the seasonal artifact is a complete joke and it's free reward and they're saving all the powder for gear. And to be honest, the seasonal artifact is good. It's good when you're cutting on 2 out of every night, and even if you're not doing like a cred or the pinnacle activity, maybe a nightfall or a raid or like a heroic strike or gambit, even when you're not doing that, it's good to make progress. It's good to make progress, but right now, the seasonal artifact, I had 2 points. The seasonal artifact is only the way to technically get in-game edible item. Edible item through in-game, and you get Lena because any in-game reward at sign, any in-game reward what is not earned by a credit or strike or the loot pool or the raid, any of them reward is your purely in the in-game artifact, in the artifact, and in the battle pass, and that means you don't get no more free loot boxes or free bright end run, and that that is a complete rubber to play to me. So, but and I see the seasonal artifact will get 2 loot boxes and we'll get 2 pay to win and all that, and I see it getting like that really fast and really soon. And I can see Bungie just saying, look, for Destiny Year 4 and Destiny Year 6, if you want the battle pass, you're gonna have to pay 1,000 silver, which is £10. And if you don't want it, then you can go bugger off. Because we're an independent company and we need all the money we need. And that is a bit worrying to me, how we can see that. That is a bit worrying to me. So, but I don't think the season of Battle Pass had kind of really affected my Destiny gameplay. Look, now we let it up. Now not only we get a bonus, like a skill perk to unlock my artifact, but now I get the little shiny cosmetic item. Cool, but and that is cool, but then did I have to look, would I rather have that shiny cosmetic item, or would I rather have that loot box and that chance to take a win at the loot box? That is, to me, that is something we need to look at, and yeah, and it does season of Battle Pass, but so I'm gonna say for the season of Battle Pass, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because it's doing good so far, but it doesn't get that too much because personally for me, we don't know what they're gonna do with the season of Battle Pass in the future, or the season of loot pass, and we haven't got all the way through all the season, and we don't know how to pay and buying tier. And finally, I don't think we know if they're gonna be better than, we don't know if they're gonna be better than Bright Engram or Destiny 2 loot boxes. When you run it, so we don't know if they're gonna be better. But I like the fact that anybody get it free with Shadow Key and with the annual pad or the battle, and I like it that that sun item you get, you can unlock tier 1 of the premium track. You can unlock tier 1 of the premium track, or tier 35 of the freebie track, and that really get a new light burner and burn. So moving on to the Destiny 2, and moving on to the end game of Shadow Key. The end game of Shadow Key right now is Nightmare Hunt with a sprite, with a pretty boring because they're basically fighting the same enemy what you fight in the campaign or even other games, and basically the vet offensive, curable and heroic sprite. And but I do have to say Nightmare Hunt are cool. They're cool free-player. They're cool free-player activity, and I would do a Nightmare Hunt weekly, and I honestly see me every week doing a Nightmare Hunt and completing the Nightmare Hunt pattern for bounty or pattern for weekly milestone or challenge. Their Nightfall deal with, they're good. They're map-made Nightfall, and I like that because Nightfall is good, but they're map-made. But then, Bungie, why are you ditching on the guided game idea? That is just poo-poo. that is your pre-pre, and compared to one nightfall, when you can do one nightfall and get 2 padded for reward and get all the reward you see from the nightfall, you have to do 5 to get 1 padded, 5 objectives to get 5 nightfalls to get 1 padded for reward, rather than 1 nightfall to get 1 padded reward. And I just don't think that's fair, and it's time consuming, and yeah. Also, I don't know if they like me, but right now there's just too many padded for sorted in the game. And you would have think that's a good thing, because now there's so much content in Destiny that some people like content and some people like not content, and they want to play what content they want and earn the gear they want at the rate they want. But for somebody like me what play Destiny, other belligerent, and that only play it game, they don't buy FIFA, they don't buy COD, they half the time they don't even play with their fans and shooter because they're playing Destiny. I like to complete any pattern for milestone or objective in a week, and now I can't because there's just too many. Maybe if I didn't take education, maybe YouTube want my job and what actually my job in gaming and reviewing tech and reviewing gaming and making gaming videos, reviewing different games. Maybe that was my job. Maybe I would love the new future, but I kind of don't, and I kind of just hate it because I can't maximize my gear. Yeah, it was okay because I can't maximize my gear, and it was annoying. And it was just annoying for me, and I can't maximize my gear, and it was just annoying. And let's talk about guided game for one. Let's talk about guided game. Guided game had got no lecture point in the game. Destiny should just remove it. Guided game, when I first introduced, I thought, alright, it was so easy. We've been adding Bungie to bring energy into Destiny 2. And you know what? They have brought energy into Destiny 2, but they brought crappy map mating in Destiny 2. So Bungie complained to her about they don't like endgame activity being able to map mate because you can't, because you might get people what are very quitting or troll or complete dit on there what just want to ruin your night and evening. And then when we go, okay, why did you put her in game at a decent? They do completely the two opposites of them goddamn thing. And it's so annoying. And if I want to do the raid, I had to wait till 9:30 to do the raid. On guided game. Bungie, if you're gonna keep it, improve it. But if you're not gonna keep it, throw away. That is just, what's the point, Bungie? If you're not gonna improve on something and make it better, then just throw it away. How hard does that seem, Bungie? Not really hard to me. So guided game is pretty rubber and pretty good. And the new pattern for gear. And it a joke that I had to get to 9:30 to play the game. It a complete joke. And it a complete joke that yeah, it just, that nobody used it, and I had to go in a guide when I got more than one player. And it is just a complete joke, guided game. And guided game. And then for in-game activity, try to decide not back. We haven't played on it. iron banner, so we can't tell that. We can't tell that. We can't tell that with a pretty pointless. There's no strike scoring with a absolutely pointless increased strike scoring than I would actually praise strike more, because strike scoring was the most cool thing, like literally in Destiny, but strike scoring is with me, so to me it's just literally not cool. It's just literally not cool. It's just literally not cool.
That's one next incursion soundly prevented.
And it's just literally not cool, and I just don't think they improved the endgame. Nightmare Hunt are good for fur, and the seasonal artifact is good, but I just don't think Bungie had improved the endgame. So yeah, for the not improving the endgame for the endgame this time, I want to give Bungie a 4 out of 10 for the endgame. For the endgame this time. And speaking for the endgame this time. And then going into PvP and the Kruber. The 3 new maps, they're alright. 2 of them are complete remap though. They work perfectly because they did in Destiny 1 and they were gold room. I like that Bungie is finally doing what other competitive multiplayer do, or removing map and fixing map from the game, but Bungie, look at the UI. Do you even play your own freaking game with the goddamn UI? Did it a nightmare. Did it a nightmare. Like, did it a nightmare UI, and it's just a complete nightmare. And I like the change it to padded gear and all that, and it really good. And the change it to fine, nine, dandy, and all that. So let's talk about. So the Kruber, I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10. It would have got them 2 extra mount, but Bungie just completely made with the UI. And the Destiny 2 UI is for Kruber and PvP activity is just a complete freaking nightmare, and a freaking nightmare. It should be called Nightmare Hunt. Hunting down Lord Chat and he bad UI. And finally, so Vet Fencing. Vet Fencing, I like it. I like it better than the Menagerie. Now, some people are gonna complain to me and say it's not better than the Menagerie. But you know what? Menagerie is not working for me. But I like it better than Menagerie. Cause it feel like in an unknown location, the black armor. In the unknown location, the Black Armory. I love the Black Armory. The Black Armory, the Black Garden is probably one of the best price by in the entire freaking universe of Destiny story and lore and gameplay. The Black Armory is just so cool. It is, and there's some picture. There's some hormone shooting, there's some puzzle, there's some defending, and there's some bots DPS and damage per second and team bay and revive and that. And that to me That to me is so cool. And it's better than the Minadawi. And I call Banty and Ukulele and Weapon 3 you can do to do weapon. But you know what? Bungie made the content, then they get rid of it 3 months later. And it just completely what? Like, yeah, it's not homo, you know, trying to be a homo. I get that, Bungie. I'm fine with that. Now we learn that we have entire prepping year or premium DLC content or homo, but not being homo. We are fine with that in the Destiny community, but because it is spurable content, Bungie feel like they don't have to put effort in because it is spurable content. Bungie can't update that. If Bungie do the same thing where they repeat 3 homo for an entire flipping year again, then that is gonna be a pain in the backside. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? That is, to me, that is gonna be a pain in the backside. And to me, why are you doing it? I just don't see why you're doing it, and Bungie, you don't throw it away. If you don't like it, then don't develop it. If you do like it, then instead of throwing away 3 months, improve on it. Maybe a bounty, maybe add a leaderboard, maybe a scoreboard, maybe a cool loot what impact the game, maybe develop on it, make it more developed. Right now, you made a gamer, you made a pretty solid gamer, but we don't want the gamer to be solid. We want the gamer to be the best it can be. And when it's the best it can be, it's the best. That gamer is a good gamer, but it can be better than that. And it can be a proper fun gamer what bring new people into the game. Doesn't need to, so finally, so I will give Bungie a 7 out of 10 for doing that. And they lose the 3 mark because I don't think Bungie can try, and not because Bungie don't believe in that stuff. Also because Bungie know that you're gonna get rid of it 3 months later down the pipe. And I'm fine with it why it's losing them 3 months. It's because still the season of gamers, still that season is further than that gamer. It's further than that activity, that gamer, that life. It's further than that, and it's not further than that. And that is just completely woody to me. And finally, if you buy the annual pad and you pay £40, that the annual pad, that like £10 or £10 of content that you're not gonna experience. And I don't know what they're gonna do when they remove content. Are they gonna decant the annual pad down? So if you buy the annual pad, if you buy the annual pad at season, right now we're on season 8, if you buy the annual pad at season 12, are you gonna get it for £10 because a season cost £10 out of the cart? Or is it gonna cost you the standard £30? That's why it's losing the mark there. And finally, Ediver. Finally, New Light. New Light is a free-to-play version, and it completely, all the first year is free to play. And I believe all the content what are coming in Destiny 2, Year 2 what are free, it's also free to play. So there's a lot of value on the cake there. And I think it's a really good value, and I'm making it own kind of review video and question video. I think Destiny 2 Lite, its own value, its own content, and it's fresh and it's wide, and it's a good party there. You're getting a good deal there, and E&E, and I don't know what Bungie are doing, but that's what Bungie should have done in the first place. And I think Destiny 3, when we get Year 2, Year 3 of Destiny 3, that's the same thing. They're gonna do New Light, and although I won't play in Destiny right now, New Light will not only turn me into a Destiny player, but it will turn me into a Destiny fanboy. Because New Light, what you get on the table is good. But also I heard some negative and some bad things, so I want to see what you guys think of Destiny 2 New Light. And so yeah, I'm gonna give Destiny 2 New Light a 7 out of 10, just because you need PlayStation Pro, and I think it's wrong that it's not free. It should be free. If it's going free to play, it should be free out of the cart. You need PlayStation Pro. Why do you need PlayStation Pro to get New Light? And then finally we're moving on to Ediver Microchamp. Well, Ediver is still the chain, still Ediver, but you can access it from the tablet from the file. You can access it from your director now by going to store. Their brand new Tavern Ediver called Campaign or Expansion or DLC, where you can buy DLC and buy campaign what you don't already own, and you can buy anything out of the car with Ediver. Another new app, Battle Pass, but another new Battle Pass, and you can, but another new Battle Pass, and Ediver is Ediver. Ediver is Ediver, but it just look like more free to play and more tacky, and it just look really bad, and yeah. So Ediver is Ediver. So should you get Destiny 2 Shadow Key? Is Destiny 2 Shadow Key really a big improvement? And is it gonna affect your Destiny gameplay if you don't have Destiny 2 Shadow Key? Well, here's the thing, Destiny 2 Shadow Key is Destiny 2 but expanding the content. Destiny 2 Shadow Key is more Destiny. But I think the reason why Destiny 2 Shadow Key feels so new and free is different. It's not because Destiny 2 Shadow Key. Destiny 2 Shadow Key feel like we're just going back to the minimum. Destiny 2 Shadow Key feel like the past 4 years, but in one DLC what cost 4 to 6, what is $29.99, and it's 4 to 6 out of gameplay content. But the feature that Destiny 2 likes when like the seasonal artifact, the brand new Battle Pass, the new map made Ordean Nightfall version, different Nightfall, a completely brand new free to play version, a completely brand new free to play version, for Destiny 2 and for Destiny and all that, and finally Destiny 2 New Light, and finally Destiny, the DLC is just a DLC which you don't get to enjoy. You don't get to be the next Fallout 76 shit, or you don't get to say, or Destiny Year 3 from Activision, and Destiny 2 is gonna become to Halo 6 or Destiny Halo. You don't get it because of that. You get it because you love Destiny and because you desire to play more Destiny. Because your heart needs Destiny to feel and function. Because your heart wants Destiny. And because you say my gaming career needs Destiny in its life. You get Destiny because of that. And I think Destiny 2 New Light will do that, and Destiny 2 Shadowkeep will do that, and a complete pattern, and a complete pattern. And if you're thinking, right, $29.99 is a lot of money for freaking DLC, how the AAA title, you're gonna get your money here. And if you don't buy Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, but you just buy the season, you say, right, I'm gonna be a bit cheaper and I'm just gonna buy a season, you're definitely gonna love the season and the new features. Or if you want to buy the season to check it out, you're gonna love this season. And you get the season. And you get the season 3 with Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. And when you buy Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, you get one free season for free, depending where you buy. So did it bring out in the game? Did it have been the review for Destiny 2 New, for Destiny 2 Year 5, Destiny 2 Year 3, and Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. I'm gonna give Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, Destiny 2 Year 3, and Destiny Year 5, and Bungie Destiny, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It really come a long way. And the whole pattern combined it more Destiny, and it more what we live. And it will be and this is a better Destiny than it ever been. And it not been for Forsaken. I think people think it been for Forsaken, but it's Destiny, and people love Destiny, and I love Destiny. And if you love Destiny all than year ago, when it was Destiny Violet Iron, you will love Destiny today with your heart and stuff. Whether you're doing it for the first time, or whether you've been playing for 5 years non-stop, and whether you commit your heart and soul to the game. And call your users, call your YouTube channel, all your social media, and you guard it, and create a gamer tag called Guardian the Game. You will love that game, and you will continue to love that. Bye guys, this has been Guardian the Gamer, and thank you for watching my review. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and thank you for watching.